Hello, and welcome to Tamela and Taylor's Treat Talk Tuesday as we have now episode 16 under our belts on our way to 20. Yay!
Yay! Yeah,
Where we talk about everything regarding treats, business, and life. And we want to say thank you so much for joining us on this journey. I am Tamela. I am owner of Torlitas for that sweet and crunchy taste. Torlitas is a dessert company located right here in the great state of Ohio. If you want to know more about me and my business, go to at Torlitas. That's T as in Tuesday, Orlitas. And I'm going to introduce my co-host, the wonderful Taylor. And it's going to be her demo week. So I'm going to let her take over the show and show us what she has. Okay. So on to Taylor. Hi,
Hi,
Taylor.
hey, how you doing?
I'm wonderful.
That's good. I am Taylor with Sweet Spirit Treats, and I have a demo this week. I don't know if anybody else out there has people in their family who have food allergies, or if you may have food allergies yourself and you are looking for a replacement of things like I think it's like this top 8 allergens. Um,
Mhm.
so I try to well, my niece has severe allergies as well as my brother. So they always want home baked goods. They want cakes and cookies and everything they see me make for other people. So they're always challenging me to do something special for them. So I've been working on different things, and um this past couple weeks they've been wanting lots of cookies, right?
Mhm.
Cookies are very simple, or they seem very simple
Mhm.
until you have to start replacing things like eggs and butter and all those things that you're used to for making cookies. So, if you guys don't know, a couple of the top 8 allergens are like um, fish, nuts, tree nuts, even peanuts, cashews, almonds, um, any dairy. A lot of people are allergic to dairy. A lot of people are allergic to gluten. Um, as I said, fish and shellfish. So it's a lot of things that people can't have, and it's also a lot of those things in food. And if you don't have an allergy, you won't really think to look for those things. So,
Mhm.
um, as I said, I've been working on different things for them. And this week's demo is going to be um, chocolate chip cookies. Now, a couple of replacements that I like to use for chocolate chip cookies, like the regular ones, you use the regular things, the butter, flour, eggs, baking powder, or baking soda. Another thing that one of my family members can't have is baking soda. I mean, baking powder or corn. So have to find different things to help. So some good substitutes for baking powder are like uh, baking soda or arrowroot powder. Those are good leavening agents. Also, depending on where you are and what you can use, another good leavening agent is like you can use substitutes. Are they have one by King Arthur? They have one by Red Mill. Um, a lot of the gluten-free flours use flours such as rice flour, brown rice flour. Oat flour is a good replacement, and it also makes your food extremely soft. That's a very good one, and it's super inexpensive. I make my own oat flour by simply taking the oats. I use old-fashioned oats, and I take them, I put them in my NutriBullet, and I blend them up into a powder, and you have oat flour. So that's even cheaper than regular flour.
Mhm.
um, what else? Um, the eggs. As far as eggs, I use flax seeds, ground flax seeds as an egg replacement, and they have a 1-to-3 ratio. So, say for instance, you take 1 teaspoon of flaxseed powder. Then you will add 3 teaspoons of water, and it actually has the consistency very much of an egg. If you just sit it and you mix it together and you let it sit there for like a minute, and you like go to pick it up, it looks like egg whites. So that's a good replacement for eggs. Um, and as far as the chocolate chips, I use one called Enjoy Life. I know a lot more stores have dairy free chips, chocolate chips now. I usually get them. I usually use Enjoy Life brand, or I use the Kroger brand to make um, the dairy free chocolate chips. And they are awesome. They also have white chocolate. Being that I can eat both chocolates, I don't really care. I can eat the dairy free kind or the non dairy free kind. I really don't like the white chocolate chips because I don't think that they have like the same consistency um as the regular chocolate chips. But that's just my preference. For someone who can't have something, I'm sure that what they can have, they'll be truly, appreciative of it. Um, but for me, I don't really like them. So we're gonna go into this demo. Um, the butter that I use is actually dairy-free butter. The
Okay.
best replace um the best replacement that I found for butter is a country crock. It's the dairy-free butter. But when you see it on the video, it looks like I'm just putting a regular stick of butter in, but I'm not, okay? It just looked like I threw a regular stick in, but it wasn't. It took me about 15 minutes to make these cookies. Um, and so that's about the regular time that it takes anyone else to make it. I condensed the video, but we can get into it and see what's going on.
Good. So is this the what's your title of this particular demo that you're doing?
Um, I guess it would be like vegan and allergy friendly chocolate chip cookies.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So can you make it so I can share my screen?
Yeah. Hold on. Make you host.
Well, thank you. Thank you
Mm.
very much. So this is, can you see it good?
Yes, I can see it just fine. It's like a bowl,
Yep,
silver
it's the
bowl.
mix. Yep, the mixing bowl. All right, so
Okay.
this is the butter.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't flop it aggressively, guys. I just sped the video up. Okay.
Okay. That's
No.
good.
So you see it, it looks just like regular butter. It has the same consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when you go to blend it, I'm gonna blend it with it's called the creaming method. When you cream the butter and the
Yeah.
sugar together is what
Mm-hmm.
we're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
And so for this particular one, you do use quite a bit of sugar. I use for this one 2 types of sugars, just like in a regular chocolate chip recipe. He
Yeah.
doesn't eat um he doesn't eat white sugar like regular white sugar, so I use the cane sugar
Mm-hmm.
replacement called Medela, and I also
Okay.
use brown sugar.
Okay.
So one of the most important things that you want to do when you're mixing cookies is to cream the butter and the sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're following like a standard recipe, the next step would be to add in the flax egg, which is
Mm-hmm.
what I just it happened fast, but I just added that in. And what I
Okay.
normally do is while I'm gathering all my ingredients, when I go to do the um the flax egg, I normally do it right before I start to cream the butter and the sugar, just so
Okay.
it can have time to actually turn into that egg white consistency.
Okay.
Also, what you're about to see scraping down the bowl. I don't know if anybody has ever like went to make something like a cake or something like that, and when they get to pouring it into the pan, down in the bottom of the bowl is like a big chunk of butter or a big
Yeah.
chunk of
And you
or
have
a
one of
big,
the best mixers out there, the KitchenAid, and you have like I can see you have the attachment with the, is that a spade with the rubber,
yeah,
kind of like that?
it's like a rubber spatula attached to it. The
Mm-hmm.
I actually got that KitchenAid as a gift. Oh, there's
Oh,
the flax egg. You
mm-hmm.
see how it
Okay.
looks?
Yeah. It kind of looks like eggs when I saw it.
Yeah.
And
And
the color.
so, yeah, once you get everything creamed, and then like you would do in regular cookies, you add your egg and keep scraping down the bowl so that you don't get cookie cookie dough stuff everywhere.
Mhm.
I have made lots of cakes and had to end up remaking them because I had big chunks of
Uh-huh.
butter at the bottom of the cake.
That didn't get incorporated. So
Yeah, that
you
didn't
have
get
to stop
incorporated.
it and use your external spatula and by hand go in and get that and make sure it's all incorporated.
Right. Also, if you're making like buttercream,
Mm-hmm.
I always start to like mix my buttercream in before because it'll splatter and you'll
Yeah.
get like a big cloud of smoke. So as
We
you
don't
can
want that
see,
smoke.
right, my kids sometimes come and like taste it. They're like,
Yeah.
"Mom, it's sugar in the air." So as you can
Or they
see,
take the plume. That's funny.
yeah, taste the sugar in the air. I added in the little chocolate chips as well. It
Mm,
actually it just pretty much looks like normal,
yeah.
cookie
Cookie
dough.
dough. Yeah.
Mhm. One of the things when you do cookies that don't have certain things like the eggs, you have to sometimes press them down to give
Mm-hmm.
them like a head start with like spreading.
Yeah.
So right now I'm just portioning them out on the cookie
Mm-hmm.
sheet. Um, they don't. They took the same amount of time. They take about 8 minutes to bake, and
Yeah.
yeah, so that's what I normally do. It's like 8 minutes. I think it was on like 375.
Okay.
Yep. Uh oh. Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, it looks like regular cookie dough. I can see the consistency of it. Um it looks like the chocolate chips are in there. It looks like
Hmm.
regular cookie dough. Like you can just eat it like it is, actually. Eat the
Yep.
raw dough.
Right.
And I can see you smashing them down in order to give that cookie shape. So that means that normally some cookies will spread in the
Hmm.
oven. In this case, they're not going to do that. Is that correct? You have to press it
Right.
down in order to for it to have that cookie shape. And if you
Right.
didn't press them down, does that mean that it's just going to be in that ball form and probably take longer to cook? Or have you ever done it
Yeah.
like that before?
What I did it like that because um because I wanted them to have more of a spread.
Mm-hmm.
When you do it like that, the amount that they do spread out is easier, I would
Mm-hmm.
say. So that's why I did it that way. I
So
want to show
then,
you guys the finish. We'll add in the finished product.
okay.
Yeah. So that is basically how I did it. It took me a long time to figure out what substitutes to use. Lots of time, and even like you use completely different substitutes. Um, Not completely different, like the same, but like different amounts. Um, I had to make some sugar free cookies
Mm-hmm.
recently, and so that um that sugar. Hold on, let me turn. that sugar is completely different than like the regular sugar. I had to use like 3/4 instead of like 1 cup. So 1/4 cup
Mhm.
left for each recipe that I did when I
Mhm.
used um the sugar replacement.
Mhm. Give me just so tell me this. How long I see you put it on a some parchment paper. How what
Mhm.
did you set your oven to and how long does it take?
It was like I set it to 375 for 8 minutes. They don't
Oh,
take
wow.
very long, and they
Quick
brown good.
one.
One thing about when you're making a cookie that doesn't have like regular butter is that you want to leave them to bake on the pan, like to cook on the pan. Some you wouldn't leave to cook on the pan. Some cookies, like when I have like regular cookies, I have to take them off the pan immediately and let them cool on like an oven rack. But when you
Mhm.
have cookies that don't have all of the extra additives and things like that, you want to let them continue to cook on the cookie sheet. And so I don't take them off until the cookie sheet is like completely cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So do you just leave it like that? Is there like a topping that you can put on there? Is there like a special drizzle that is vegan? Are they vegan cookies?
They're
Yeah.
vegan, but they're like vegan, and I say vegan and allergy friendly because
Yeah.
people who are vegan can still have certain things. They can
Okay.
still have flour, they can still have corn, they can still have, baking powder. But my particular family member can't have those things too. So that's why I call
Okay.
them vegan and allergy friendly
Allergy
cookies.
friendly. Okay, good. So that means that anyone who has a proclivity or a who are unable to eat certain things would do fine with a recipe like this. And is it a recipe you're giving out, so other people can make it at home, or should they wait for your cookbook?
I think I don't know. I'm not sure. Good question. That's a very good
Yeah.
question. I have to
I
decide
was I
what I'm
was
going
thinking
to do.
about that. Maybe, we do our demos you know, twice a month in our
Hmm.
series, and maybe by the end of the year, maybe we can put all those recipes together and offer it to our listening audience. What do you think about that?
I think that is a great idea.
Yeah,
I
why
think
don't
that
we
would
do
be fun.
that? Yay.
That would be really cool.
I think
I
so
like
too.
um I like doing these demos because it gives somebody a chance to actually see what we sell as far as in our business. Because a lot of times when we come on here, we just talk about, like we did the one last week about the websites and different things like that. So it doesn't really give you a chance to see like what we actually do unless you venture to our like Facebook or Instagram page and things like that. So I think it's
Yes.
very awesome that
Yes,
this is
speaking of
happening.
that, I think that we need to also pause and say we have a YouTube page, Instagram page, and you can find
Mhm.
us, our podcast on Anchor.fm, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. But our handle is on YouTube, Tamela and Taylor's Treat
True
Talk
Talk
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yep.
Hmm.
On Instagram, it is Tamela Taylor's Treat Talk Tuesday. And on Anchor and any other place you find your audio podcast, it is Tamela and Taylor's Treat Talk Tuesday. So be sure to like, comment, and share. We want to also say that if you would like to be a part of our podcast, then please send us an email at Tamela. It's Treat Talk Tuesday at gmail.com. Treat
Yeah.
Talk Tuesday at gmail.com. And just drop us a line. Let us know what we're doing great. Let us know what we can improve on. And who knows, you might be next on our next episode as a guest. So yeah, continue on, Taylor.
Yeah, so that's pretty much all I had as far as like the recipe. With the as far as the topping you were asking about, you can do any topping as long as they are specific to that person's food allergy. I didn't know, for instance, that um that some food colors have high fructose corn syrup in them, and so they make specific food color without high fructose corn syrup. Another thing is you just want to look at if you're doing sprinkles, just
Hmm.
make sure you continuously check the ingredients on these things. Not being able to do the corn and the flour and the dairy has been a real learning curve, but I'm excited um, for them. We're also working on a pound cake.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
my brother, I'm doing this for my brother, and he calls it the $1 million pound cake, the big brother's $1 million pound cake.
Why
So we've
not?
been so we've been working on that as well, just trying to get food and good desserts to different people who can't have them, can't just go to the store and pick up stuff. Um,
That's nice.
and
I'm glad you're doing that.
yeah, it's lots of different food allergies and different things like that. Um, some people can't have sugar, some people can't have, oats. So um, it's always a way around it. With the toppings, yeah, just continue to check the ingredients on what's in it and what they can have and what they can't have. Um, it's so
So what
many
are some?
different, huh?
Mhm. Please, please. There's so many different.
I was just gonna say, it's so many different options of things you can get into when you're trying to do something specifically
Hmm.
for a person that has food sensitivities or food allergies. Um, you always want to make sure you clean very good. I try to use certain mixer uh, for only gluten things and another one for only gluten free things. Making sure you clean your kitchen, your equipment. If you have someone who has a food sensitivity, I try to do all those orders first.
Yes.
Um, Before I do like regular orders, if I have
Hmm.
multiple to do in that
Hmm.
day, and just try to keep things separate because um, people can really, be hurt by what they eat. Um,
Right.
I I seen, I think it was like a couple of years ago. This it was either a young man or a young lady. They were severely allergic to peanut butter, and their
Mm.
girlfriend ate like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich a couple hours before, and she like kissed them.
Oh my
And I
goodness.
just remember it being like a really big thing on the
Yeah.
news. And so when you have these things and you want to make them available to the public, just be really careful. Try not to get angry at people when they ask you questions because it's
Hmm.
literally it's
Well, for
literally
them.
their yeah, their life or death for them. Um, and I think we take for granted that we can have certain things or people who don't have any allergies. And I know I used to feel like it was like a burden for them to like ask so many questions, but it's literally like it is literally life and death. I've seen people be rushed to the hospital because of accidentally touching a cashew or somebody trying to feed them something without telling them the ingredients.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, so it's really serious. Anybody who bakes or who makes food, just don't get frustrated with the people, that are asking these questions because
I
it's for
agree.
it's for their own good.
Early in my career, making tortillas, the tortilla chips with the different chocolates and toppings, is my
Mhm.
number one seller, which is Blondie.
Mhm.
And back in the day, in the early 2000s, when we heard about allergies, but they were not as pronounced and
Right.
gluten free and allergy ridden as it is today. Okay. I mean, we've all been schooled on what those allergies are and things like that.
Yeah.
And I had just on my labels, I had put toffee, as the topping. And I
Right.
remember this. young little boy came up to me because he wanted some so bad. And he came over, he took a bag, he wanted to go take it back to his mom. We were at a show.
Right.
So he took a bag and he ran it over to his mom. He probably was about 10 or 12. Ran it
Mhm.
over to his mom, and he came back. He said, "Are these what is there? Are these nuts on here?" I was like, "No, it's toffee."
Mhm.
And he was like, "Oh, because I have a nut allergy." And I had to think back, are there any, nuts or anything on this with this product made? Because I didn't
Right.
want him to suffer any kind of reactions. So I had to think back. I said, "This is almond toffee. It's up
Yeah.
to you if you want to, have the product or eat the product, but it is almond toffee." And I had to think about that and make sure that I put it on my labels from here on out. And something to kind of give you that buffer, so to speak, that,
Right.
if you are using different types of products in and around, if you're straight vegan or what have you, you have to put on your labels, nuts are used in and around this product. So that
Right.
gives people right off the bat, if they want to go forward, eating the product or not. But it kind of gives you a little safeguard. And I'm not sure the legalities of any
Yeah.
of that, but there's certain label requirements when you're selling a product that you must adhere to. You might can go to the U.S., Department of Health or whatever, but you can technically
Mhm.
check with your local agency as well, your state department, health department, or whatever, to get that. Make sure that you're in alignment with
Mhm.
your labels and labeling the ingredients.
Yeah.
Definitely want to give that little part of business advice to anyone. But if you're making it at home, you know it exactly what's going into it. You know exactly who's going to,
Right.
receive the product. And it sounds like you got it down pat on what your family can and cannot eat. You
I
know,
still get it
and
wrong so much sometimes, but I
well,
try.
what
I
seems like you're
definitely
good with
try.
it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yeah, as far as like the labeling, I know like in Michigan we have to do the cottage food law, and that requires like direct sales to people. And at first I was like, I don't understand why you can't just like put it up in the store and things like that and just sell it as long as it has some kind of product label on it. But
Mm-hmm.
dealing with these things really give you valuable lessons in what you should do, and that things are done for a reason and a purpose, especially
Mm-hmm.
like with food. I know in the United States we have a lot of foods that are our market that a lot of other countries don't have on their markets because they are not good for you. And
Mm-hmm.
so refined sugar, um the white sugar is really not good for us um in the first place. It is highly like addictive,
It is.
especially like like
You can
I
say
remember
it.
like really addictive. I remember the first time I gave some to like my little son, and he was like off the chain. Him and my nephew,
Yeah.
because it really can be like, I need to get it. I need to have it. I need to. Need
Mm.
it.
Wow.
Yeah. So the labeling and everything is very important for those areas, but we have to take, as far as health, um, everything has to be taken into consideration,
Mm-hmm.
whether you can have refined sugar or not have refined sugar. um, Ultimately we're responsible for our health. So
Exactly.
if somebody trusts you to make something for them, they're trusting you with their health as well. So
Mm. Mm.
yes, yes, yes.
And it's ultimately, it is a choice. It is a choice if you want to pick the
Yeah,
good with the sugar, without, and that's just a part of, I guess adulthood, I guess. But
yeah.
definitely, if you want to have a vegan or an allergy friendly choice, it's
Hmm.
available. If you want to have all the sugar and fat and all the laden flavors and all that kind of stuff, then there's a choice there too. And 80/20 rule, maybe go into
Right.
effect as well. 80%, you know, clean eating, or 80% less fat eating, or 80%, not as fat laden or, foods, and 20%, go hog
Yeah,
wild, go wild with it. So anyway, it's definitely something to consider.
definitely
Yeah,
is. But it's been
wonderful, wonderful. I enjoyed your demonstration and finding a new way, a new snack to try, or new cookies or dessert to try. And I'm pretty
yeah,
sure, would love to hear feedback on anyone that tries it and tries the recipe and gives their own spin on it and send us a picture. Maybe we'll post it on our social media.
yeah, definitely. We'll add it to this video, and we'll add it to the page. I did get a good review, get some Instagram posts. Um, yeah, and just let me tell you, just because you make something for your family, don't mean that they gonna lie about what you're making. So when I
Exactly.
say I made it for them and they gave me a good review, it's because they did. It ain't because they care about my feelings. I mean, they care, but they honest.
Right,
They're family
exactly.
members
And you
that
know
are
what?
honest.
Exactly. And when that with that honesty, it helps to make you better.
Meaning, I'm on vacation working, guys. So I'll
Yeah,
throw in some vacation
exactly.
pictures.
Absolutely. Exactly. You need to do that. And please do that so we can have something on record, when we look back at this 2 or 3 years from now, if we last that long, and see that you had a great vacation.
So we want to thank you for tuning in to Tamela and Taylor's Treat Talk Tuesday. We are once again on Instagram as Tamela Taylor Treat Talk Tuesday. We have our YouTube page where you'll be able to see this demo for these vegan and allergy friendly chocolate chip cookies. Um, what else we got? And if you would like to be a part of our podcast, you can email us at Tamela and Taylor's Treat Talk Tuesday at
Tell
gmail.com.
us at Treat Talk Tuesday.
Oh, at
Yeah,
Gmail,
we'll put it in the comment section or whatever.
guys, we're
Yeah.
on vacation. Can't
Yeah,
focus.
yeah,
Can't focus. No, I'm
yeah.
just
That's
playing.
okay. That's okay.
Yeah,
We'll
but
we'll we'll make sure they get the right information.
right. Or we'll just cut some stuff out. Either way it
Yeah.
works.
Anyway.
So that has been this episode. Make sure if you have someone in your family who has food sensitivities or food allergies, you are very mindful of them, especially if they're severe. Um, Try to make healthy choices around them, so they won't be tempted as much. Having self-control is a really hard thing, um, and we all have to have it at some point. Our health
Yes.
depends on it, and the
That's on it.
people who care about us depend on us to lead them to a good path. So bake something that someone likes and make somebody smile. Have a blessed week.
Have a blessed week. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.